Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Elune here, and welcome back to each of one of it. Of course, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. I am very happy to have you here. Today, of course, we have to talk about Elune. There's some startling developments around Elune and exactly what her place in the cosmos might be. So I think today's video is going to be absolutely magnificent. However, if you feel like I'm wasting your time, I'm talking too slow, I'm saying things and I'm repeating myself too much, we respect your time. So you will find timestamps in the timeline down below. Simply click and move to wherever you want to be if you feel like you've caught the gist. However, I would say, if you want to know everything and you don't want to miss anything, I would suggest watching the entire video from start to finish. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's your life, your time. We want to make it as easy as possible for you. Alex, thank you. This video, of course, is brought to you by, well, us, the patrons. Patrons, thank you so much for making videos like this one possible. Thanks to your support, and thank you so much for loving the Lovecraft episodes every single week. That is, of course, the podcast, as well as early access behind-the-scenes videos. If you want to join the Lore Revolution, Patreon is the place for you. So click that link in the description down below. And also remember that you can join us live on Twitch every Tuesday to Friday for in-depth lore discussions, things that you will probably never see on this channel, because a lot of the time that is where my theories start. And then just one small thing. There's been a development. So it turns out that the like button have been causing a lot of trouble on YouTube. You see, if you don't hit the like button, for some reason YouTube thinks that people don't like the video, and therefore they don't show the video to anyone else. So if you want to show that little fucker who's boss, then you look at that like button, you stare it in the eye, and you smack it so fucking hard, right, that it turns blue. I mean, you spank that thing. You almost break your mouse spanking it, right? It turns blue, everyone's happy. You can also comment and you can also subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. So we have to start with known history. What do we know about Elune? The answer, almost nothing. Alright, so we know a little bit more now in the Shadowlands than what we used to know. Back in the day, so before Shadowlands was a thing, Elune was this incredibly big figure that very little was known about. The only real sort of knowledge we had of Elune is that the Night Elves worship her, and that the old gods consider her to be an upstart goddess. So they don't really think much of her. That was it, really. Elune never made herself known. She almost never interfered with anything. That, of course, is until Ysera, where, for the first time ever, she directly interfered with the death of a being of Azeroth. We would, of course, then see her interfere as the Night Warrior and allowing Tyrande to wield her incredible power. Now, of course, there's also her removing that power from Tyrande. For what reason? Maybe this video will explain it. We also knew, or at least from speculation, that she represents balance. To what effect, we could never understand, but our arguments were sound. The moon is effectively the balance of the sun, the light source, and the moon reflecting it. So the moon, in World of Warcraft at least, is very much associated with balance. But that was it. That's all of it. In the Shadowlands, of course, we learn far more. First and foremost, we learn that not only is it the Night Warriors, or not the Night Warriors, the Night Elves, that serve Elune, but Elune has servants all over. There are people who pray to Elune literally throughout the entire Great Beyond. We also finally learn that there seems to be a connection between Elune and the Shadowlands. The Winter Queen goes so far as to call Elune her sister. She actually tells us that she thought that her sister had abandoned her. So this tells us that at some point, Elune should have been involved in the Shadowlands. We also know that there are servants, other Night Warriors, that now live within the Shadowlands. And it doesn't appear as if these Night Warriors only go to Ardenweald either. It seems like they can go anywhere. So Elune is intrinsically tied to somewhere within the Shadowlands. Now, of course, there's also a story that came out of, shall we say, folk and fairy tales, right? But a story about Anshe and Musha. Now, Anshe, of course, is the sun god, and Musha is the moon goddess. This is, of course, according to the Torrents. Now, they tell a story of where Anshe and Musha fought the darkness. And, of course, the darkness struck a blow against Anshe that damaged his heart. It left a wound that would not heal where his heart is supposed to be. So that said, we almost immediately started pulling some kind of strings and some kind of logical links between Zovaal and Elune. Could it be that Zovaal and Elune used to rule together? Could it be that they are opposite ends of a very specific spectrum? And then of course we have on top of all of this just now the brand new cosmic map, and I do hope that Alex are putting all of these things on the screen for you, but the new cosmic map by the brokers. Now I am going to have a video about the cosmic map specifically, and you can find that video, I believe it's there actually, top right hand corner. Just click that and it will take you to the map discussion and what the map actually means. But the map has something very interesting. First and foremost, the map puts life and death as the two opposing forces within the universe. But here's something very interesting. On the side of death, there is a crescent moon. On the side of life, there is a moon with the sun moving in front of it. So the sun and the moon seems to be represented within life and death. So again, the story of Anshe and Musha comes to the foreground. We start asking questions around what exactly is, or what exactly does Anshe and Musha have to do with the story? If Anshe and Musha is Zovaal and Elune, could that be something, could that be evidence of something greater going on? But there's even more. There's a passage within the new Grimoire of the Shadowlands. At the end of the passage, it speaks about Elune, and it says that we know that a creature of her origins, a being actually of her origins, can under no circumstances be trusted. We know that they do not distrust the Eternal Ones. In fact, in the Expedition Journal, they believe that the Eternal Ones are great and they sort of look up to them. So a being of her origins cannot be trusted. We know of only one other being that the brokers consider untrustworthy, and that would be Zovaal. Now, just before we get into the speculation part of this video, I want to ask one final question. Why Azeroth? What is Elune doing on Azeroth? Could it be to stop Zovaal, to save Zovaal? We've already argued, and for those of you that don't know, if you join us over on Twitch, you will get the answers there, or you will know what I'm talking about. We've already argued that there is a very good chance that the first ones, the sepulcher of the first ones, is somewhere on Azeroth, and perhaps that is exactly what Elune is doing. However, the question becomes, if she is looking to stop him, could that be why she helped the Titans with all of these forges and all of the forges of origination or re-origination? Could that be the reason she had a hand in the creation of the Emerald Dream, perhaps to build an army strong enough to eventually stop Zovaal? But if it is to save him, what is she trying to save him from? We know that she abandoned the Shadowlands. She is no longer there. So it can only stand to reason that whatever she is doing on Azeroth, she is doing in order to either stop him or to save him. Now, if the story of Anshe and Musha is correct, then most likely the latter. She is most likely trying to save her brother, to save the original rulers of the Shadowlands. But of course, you didn't come to this video for questions. You came for speculation, which will offer more questions than answers, but that's the fun. Now, looking at the new cosmological map, it is clear that the sun and the moon is represented in both. The moon is in death, which, if Elune is the moon, and every single time we talk about the moon, we are almost always talking about Elune. And if we believe that the story about Anshe and Musha may in fact be the story of Zovaal and Elune, then this would mean that Zovaal and Elune are both Titans of life. The fact that there is a moon on the side of death simply means that in order to preserve life, death had to be present within the cycle. So life effectively subjugated death. Now, of course, if the reading of the cosmological map is to be believed, especially the new Broker's map, then it means that Zovaal was once life. He was once the sun, the bringer of life. Now, in that, I sort of started to ask a lot of serious questions around what happened to him. What happened after this wound that he suffered by the darkness at the hand of the darkness? What is the story of Zovaal? It's the removal of mortality. It's the removal of morality. It's the removal of hope and life. Could that be what the darkness stole from him? So in the beginning, Elune and Zovaal rules over the Shadowlands together, both of them preserving the fundamental essence of the eternal cycle, ensuring that life and death remain in perfect balance. But there is a force that attacks. In their defense of the Shadowlands, Zovaal is injured. His injury steals his morality, it steals his empathy, it steals his ability to maintain and believe in the cycle that was created. As a result of this, the other Eternal Ones are created as equals, but not nearly as strong. The reason I believe this is because of the passage by the brokers. A being of her origins cannot, under any circumstances, be trusted. They feel the exact same way about Zovaal, so it might stand to reason that Zovaal and Elune were created with an incredible amount of power. More power than what any being in the Shadowlands, or perhaps even in the cosmos, would wield. And this is why they doubt her. This is why they distrust her. Because unlike the other Eternal Ones that have, yes, they have power in their combination, but single-handedly, they would not have the power to destroy the universe because they are not all-powerful. So in other words, their lack of power is what keeps them in check. For Zovaal and Elune, there is no lack of power. The power that they wield is absolutely eternal. So when Elune saw what Zovaal was becoming, when she saw Zovaal slipping away, fading from the being that he once was, the being of light that he once was, she created the Eternal Ones, her brothers and sisters, perhaps with portions of her power, to ensure that the Shadowlands would remain in balance for all eternity. Together, they managed to banish Zovaal to the Maw, removing his sigil and gifting it to the Arbiter to ensure that the Shadowlands' balance would be preserved. And then Elune left. She needed answers. She needed to figure out, how does she get her brother's soul back? How does she reinstate the humanity that Zovaal once had, the magnificence that Zovaal once was? Now, of course, all of this is simply speculation. I have no evidence for any of this. All I have is logical conclusions that's drawn from facts that exist right now in World of Warcraft, and I still don't have the book, so thereby I can't even tell you if any of this may be wrong or may be refuted later on. I only have the leaks from people that have the book. The book seems to be a mess right now, so I genuinely don't know, but I'd love to get your thoughts on it nevertheless. Now, of course, if you like this video and like videos like this one, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you don't just have to hit the like button if you disagree or agree with me. Even if you disagree but you like where the video is going, please hit that like button. It does help out the channel below, but then also let me know in the comment section down below what you disagree with. Maybe you have come up with a much better story than what I could ever come up with, and I don't doubt that. Many heads is always better than one, so that is why that comment section exists. Also, to all of the patrons, once again, thank you so much for all of the freedom that you afford me to make the content that I truly care about and that I love. I will try and strive to do even more for you in the future. So if you want to be part of the lore revolution, you want podcasts, you want behind the scenes footage, and you want early access to all of the videos of the channel, then click the link in the description down below and come join us over on Patreon. To all of the Twitch subs and the YouTube channel members, thank you so much for your monthly contributions. It does mean the world to me. Thanks to you, this channel is still growing, and it's growing stronger every single day. I quite literally wouldn't be here without you, so I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Guys, it was my name is Elune, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, fam.